everybody. Good afternoon from here in Quartzsite. And the day is beautiful. It's in the 70s. And this is where we've been for the past few days. And I'm still waiting on a piece of mail to come from a friend back home. And it's supposed to be in Parker in a couple of days. So we are here. This is our area, and I'll give you a look around here. You can see the mountains. You can see the mountain range. Very different from the mountains I grew up with. They are definitely not from the Adirondacks or even the Rockies. And in the distance over there, you might not be able to see it very well, but that is the town of Quartzsite. And it's still early in the season. We're still in November, and most of the snowbirds don't get here until won't get here until closer to Christmas. I think most of them spend their holidays with their family and friends and then come down. So we're going to show you around here, and you can see some of the conditions, and we'll give you a little tour. So the first thing that's most notable is the iconic saguaro cactus. This is the only one that I can see around here. And I hear some chirping. I don't know if there's a bird that's made a nest in there or not, but we can get a little closer and see. As long as we don't touch it and disturb it, we should be fine. It's funny how they grow and they die from the bottom up. We're going to walk around, see what it looks like. I've seen in some photos where owls make their home in some of these cactuses. Quite tall. Very interesting. I don't see any birds. One of the things that was noted in a video from somebody else that I saw, another nomad that I saw, were these little tiny red cactuses. We'll see if we can find one for you. There's one right there. And on his video, somebody said that they're called devil's spine flower. I haven't had the pleasure of stepping on one yet. There's another one. And the Campulence Man, one of the nomads that I watch, was talking about them and saying that he had not seen them this big before. And it's quite possible that it's because of the weird conditions and the fact that they had so much rain this spring, and now it's been so dry. David, in his video that he did on on the conditions that he saw, also mentioned the dry grass and the fact that the trees are all very brown and look like they're dead. Yeah, there doesn't seem to be a great variety of different trees, but maybe that's just because I haven't really looked. Seems to be very limited as to the type of foliage that you see here, and the type of trees. Now the road that's this way, if you're looking, we're looking east toward the car in Indy, and that is Route 95, and that will take you from Yuma and Route 10 or Route 8, I'm not quite sure, all the way up to Route 40, and that will take you to Parker if you go north, and then if you go south, it'll take you to Yuma. So where we have landed is a spot that's a little bit northeast of the actual town of Quartzsite, and the road you see there is Tyson Road, and that's running east to west. And I'm not sure if this is even a legal spot to park, but when I got here, there was another van here, and he is still here, and it looks like there's a lot of little fire pits, and it looks like there's been a lot of tires, and there's been people that have parked out front for the day, but it is not on the map as a 14-day, although I will honor that, and we will be moving out of here no later than the 14 days that are required for BLM land. It's also not an LTVA. There are 4 of those that are south of town, and I'm just getting my bearings as to where they are. I did some exploring yesterday, and the 4 LTVA's, long-term visitor places, are just south of town, right on the edge of town, and then about 2 miles south of that. And an LTVA, for those of you who don't know, stands for long-term visitors something. And you can buy a pass for $180 this year and for the winter season, and that will take you from September 15th to April 15th. And then there is another pass that you can buy during the summer, which is a little cheaper. But the idea of anybody wanting to stay here in the summer when it's over 100 degrees is a little funny for me. But there are people that do that. And so those are the rates this year. And there's been quite a kerfuffle over what the rates are going to be raised to next year. And the initial statement was that they were going to go, the winter rates that go for the 7 months, September to April, are going to go up to $600. That's as yet to be determined, and I don't have a dog in that fight. So, but the 14-day ones, the BLM land, you can stay in a site for 14 days, and then you have to move. Some of them require a certain distance between, you're given different, different areas require different leave times. In some places you can stay for 14 days, go somewhere else, and stay there for 14 days and then come back. And some of them have different rules than that. You just have to check and make sure you're okay. The two that I know of on the north end of town, and then there's a couple more that I've seen on the way to Parker, but the two that are on the north end of town are on Central, which is this 95. And the first one you come to from here would be High Jolly. And it's funny because when I pulled in, I actually thought, I said, this might be High Jolly. But it's not. They do have signs, so they will tell you where they are. And then the one further out is Plumosa Road. Now there are a couple other 14-day places where you can camp around here. To the east, just to the east of Quartzsite, just south of Route 10 to the east, is Skadden Wash, which is a 14-day. And then if you take Central or 95 south, there is another one that I saw on the map called Roadrunner. And then there's more as you get closer to Yuma. And then in my tour yesterday, I also found Dome Rock, which is in between here and Ehrenberg. And that is also a 14-day. And then there's another section just before you get to Ehrenberg. You pull off at the Ehrenberg exit, and then you'll see a frontage road on the southern side of I-10 that is another 14-day that is used quite often. And so we're still figuring it out. We're still figuring out what's where and how long you can stay where. And it's a learning curve. One thing I will note is that it seems very clean here. I have found very little trash that's been left around lying, and that's a good thing, as it means that people really are taking care of not leaving a mess. I have seen trash in other places, and so what little trash I do find, I clean. Always leave a place better than you found it. And we are trying to work by that principle.